Hello, teacher. My name is Sebastian Serrano, and this is my ID. In this opportunity, I will present to you the PowerPoint presentation about the main characteristics of linguistics, methodology, and research inside the English education. How these types of steps of our topics transform the way of education inside English teaching as a foreign language. In this case, we have the linguistics, methodology, and research. Firstly, for the linguistics, is the part of the language inside. For example, the English, how this type of English works inside the structure. For example, the grammar, the verbs, the adjectives, all this type of structured way to communicate. For example, to exchange ideas, for talk, write, and for example, comprehend a little bit about the topics like is the English. This is the first step to take in mind inside the English purposes because this is a type of understanding the basements of the English, the foundation. We have the methodology. In this type of topic, we have the explicit way to understand the way of the classroom will take inside the English topics. For example, we have a different stages like maths, technology, or even the chemistry. In this type of methodology, we have to develop a lot of instruments, for example, realia or topics with the papers, for example, like airplanes or maybe types of trees. This type of strategies focus inside the materials that we develop inside the classroom, for example, the technology or even the way to teach inside, for example, the games. And this type, for example, this type of topic that is the research, we have the categorization of the data that we need to chase inside the or the classroom. This type of categorization is about the results or the goals that we need to chase. In this case, is a type of prompts that we have to develop inside of the classrooms or even in the end of the classroom. That is the type of recompilations about the topics that we have to need to use. For example, the resolutions about the problems, the understanding, the types of methodology. For example, the data about and the result of the exams, the listening, the reading, for example, the writing, this type of methodologies that we have to develop inside the reflexive data. In conclusions, all this type of steps showed in this type in these conclusions we have the research, the methodology and the linguistics, this type of topics that we need to chase inside our classroom because we need to evaluate our students, their understanding, even firstly the way to chase the develops about the language of the English. We have to need to understand firstly the language, the English, and after, for example, the methodology that we use inside the classroom to teach different topics and the research that we need to evaluate our students or even our data. For example, in this type of conclusions inside the teacher classroom, we need to chase the results in this type of topic about the research because this is a type of systematic evaluation that we chase for the students and the reflexive data that we have to take in mind inside our methodology or even the English functions that we have to need to use to our students inside in the English classroom. For example, we need to evaluate our methodology, the materials, the the materials connected with the topics proposed inside the English classroom. For example, different materials, maybe the technology or even the recycling things that we need to develop. And we have to chase in this type of topics, for example, the research to evaluate our comprehension of the classroom, or even the students and our purpose work inside the goals, final goals of our classroom. This type of topics is a type of steps that we show in our daily classroom to evaluate our students and even our works to develop different topics inside the goals that we need to use. That is the bibliography that is used in this type of presentation. Thank you.